Okay, good afternoon, folks. So I'm just writing the news. $1,500. Yeah, it's just I still can't get the news indicator to work properly for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, let me just set that. And then I'll chat. So load high impact news. Super. Okay, so I hope everyone's well. It's 24th of September, Tuesday. And we have got some news coming up. I can't remember what it is. I sort of pay more attention to when it is rather than what it is. So I hope everyone's okay. Everyone had a good day yesterday. Not a brilliant day. I took no trades. Market was just horrible yesterday. A lot of sideways, a lot of chop. But it does happen from time to time. So it's not a major issue if you don't take a loss. You just see it as a choppy day and stay out of it. But sometimes it kind of sucks you in. Your patience goes a little bit. But there you go. So I'll have a chat in a little while about some of the emails that were going around yesterday. I think it's kind of been sorted anyway. A few people were getting emails yesterday saying they couldn't take evaluations. It wasn't that they couldn't take evaluations. They're just moving some people onto a live account. You've got PA and then you've got a PA live account. Karina, how you doing? Good morning to you. So, market is open. Volume is very low overnight. Why? I'm not too sure. But there is not a lot. Considering it was moving. Jan, how you doing, buddy? So, yeah, there was, I did put a video, well, sorry, I did put a little bit of information on a Facebook group about what the issues were. I chatted to a few people yesterday, did a bit of digging around, and it seems that Apex are moving some people onto a live account. So unless you're consistent, you're making reasonable amounts of money, which is not me at the moment. I won't worry about it. But it's not that they're stopping people taking the values per se. They're just saying to some people, okay, you're doing particularly well. We're suspending your evaluation for the time being. You've got two options. You can either take your money and walk away and come back to Apex in 6 months, or you can move all your money onto a live account. I posted in the mail group. There's another probation rule that denied take out the safety net. Interesting. I also put a video. There was a video going around from Daryl Martin. I thought it wasn't quite what I was expecting. I thought he was going to update us with news, but it was kind of an apology. And they sort of admitted there was some issues and customers weren't treated very well. I think particularly on the Discord as well. It wasn't very good behaviour from a business. Now, obviously, that wasn't Daryl Martin, more some of the staff, but they did say they have removed some staff, so some people have gone. Let me just have a look. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for being a valued member. After thought review of your account history, we're informing you that you are no longer able to offer any new evaluations. However, you may continue trading peer account and evaluation accounts currently hold. This includes resetting existing evaluations and converting them to peer account once you pass. However, we will not be able to offer you any new evaluations at this time while there are no new demonstrations accounts available to you. We'll be monitoring your trading on PA account, possibly moving them to a live prop. Okay. As you are PA accounts, I'm sure it is the rules. Right. Yeah, okay. I'm assuming, Karina, you're quite consistent. I believe it's a small amount of people. It does seem like you're one of the consistent ones. So, if you have 50, yeah. I think what they're doing is putting you on probation because they think you're, well, I don't want to say they think you're a consistent trader. In their opinion, you are, which is kind of good acknowledgement that you seem to be doing okay. So what's your thoughts on it, Karina? Not me. Oh, it was sent to another person. Okay, right, I got you. Yeah, what it is some. Me neither. Not me either. Some people who are doing particularly well and making consistent money, they're trialing them for a live account, which is not a bad thing. So they're saying, you're a consistent trader, you seem to be doing well, you're making money. What we're going to do is we're going to suspend any new evaluations for the time being. You can either take your money or we can put all your money onto a live account. I don't think it's bad news, but it's you know, if you're not making regular, consistent, large gains, I won't worry about it. It's not going to happen to you. It's certainly not going to happen to me currently. But yeah, I won't worry about it. It's not an acknowledgement of you know, there's issues. I think it's an acknowledgement of you're doing particularly well. I was just going to give you a congratulations thing, Karina. I'll take it back. But yeah, no. So no, I wouldn't worry about it. I won't worry about it. But we did have a video from Daryl Martin basically apologising. But I'll get email probation because not rules something I can't take the same net. Yeah. They're just setting out new rules for people who are on probation with the potential to move on to a live account. I wish, yeah. Me too. So, yeah, I don't think it's nothing to worry about. I don't think it's nothing to worry about. It's all right. I'm just taking a trade on leg down. 1-2 attempts to go higher. I'm just taking a trade on my one. Oh, sorry. It's a sim. Would it have won? Yeah, I've taken that back on a sim, which is not. It's not a bad idea, really. Let me have a look. It's not gone, is it? Let me just move this up a bit. I'm quite glad it's going against me anyway. This was on a sim, actually, so it doesn't really matter. So I'll tell you what, let's just cancel
Order filled.
it was on a sim, that anyway. Let's switch it back over to my funny futures. It is going a bit sideways, to be fair. But okay, so yeah, it's nothing to be concerned about. It's just some people, they consider them, they're doing okay, and they're thinking about moving them to a live account, so they're on temporary probation. So it went up, didn't break above there, and came down. That's going to take me out now anyway, I dare say. But I'm going to put it just above there, see if that helps me out. Didn't trigger. It's going to take me out this anyway. It's okay. It's my funded futures one.
Stop filled.
Okay, that's fine. Let's have a look. You just jumped I see what you did. Yeah, I actually went for the failure. When it came back, I jumped in on a limit order. It is a bit congested, but what I like about it is we trapped that along there, so I just wanted to get out down the lows. It is just on a single. I'm not moving live accounts. Just got an email probation because of the new rules on Facebook. I think they're talking about, I think they're on probation with the prospect to move into a live account, as far as I know anyway. But it is only people who've had the email, so it would be strange. I did quite a bit of researching around, and it would be strange to stop people from taking evaluations. They make a chunk of their money from people failing accounts because of the new rules. Not allowed to take the safety net. There's two different mails. I'm not sure really, to be honest with you. I know it's only an issue if you've I know it's only an issue if you've had the email. So I thought it doesn't help them to prevent people from buying it, but no, it makes no sense. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Order filled.
Doesn't make any sense. Leg and a leg, bearish bar. Where are we? Oh, look at that. Came right down, touched me, missed me by one. Oh, came down, missed that by a tick. Leg and oh, isn't that frustrating? It's all right, I'm leaving it there anyway. I think it's likely we come for another leg, so I'm leaving that there. This is just a single my funded futures. In fact, you know what? I'm even going to put it there because I think it's likely to take there. Might as well get as much as I can out of this. Leg down with the break. 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. Bearish bar. Big strong push down. So I think it's likely we get down to here anyway. I do want to try and go for some slightly bigger moves on this. The good thing about this My Funded Futures is there's an end of day drawdown, so it doesn't really matter if you let it come down and come back and take you out for break even. It doesn't really affect you. So I'm just going to let this ride. When's this news? Oh, we still got 15 minutes. keep an eye on that. Stacking a little bit here. Might be wise to get out of this in a minute, I think. Okay, I like that. I like where that is. Sometimes you got to leave them. I don't mind leaving these a bit. It's just a one single PA account. But we have got moves coming up, so I may just get out of it. Struggling to come down, in all fairness. I like the way it's sitting there, so it's working nice off there. And I think there's a good chance we have that leg down, so I think it'll probably come down here. I think it's worth leaving it. I just want to kind of be a little bit braver with this one account. If I think it's going to do something based on what I can see, I'm just going to kind of let it work. Excuse me a sec. God, that's so frustrating, isn't it? I like the way it's ticked above there. It is so it'd be frustrating if it comes up there after this. But there you go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I like the way it's triggered above there. Now, it could bounce and push up, so I could get out here, but the fact that it's triggered that and it hasn't come up and touched that, I think it's probably worth holding on. Where's this news? We got 12 minutes, so I think we're okay. Well, this looks like it may be a high low. It's hard to say. It is frustrating. It shot down and missed me target by one tick. Obviously, I moved it down a little bit, but bouncing here. It's struggling to get down there. It did come shooting down. I think it's probably going to come down. I could jump out here, but it's also kind of ranging. So
Target filled.
Okay, that was worth holding on to then. I thought once it got below some of this, we'd have a push. So that was worth. That was not bad actually. Good, happy days. We came down. When it came up and didn't tick that, I thought I might as well hold on because it's kind of a leg with a break. One attempt higher, second attempt higher, and then down. So I think there's a good chance we're doing that second leg. The trouble is sometimes when you've got multiple accounts and it does come back a little bit at you, that tendency to get a bit nervous and get out of it. A lot of the time, you kind of lose out. And I think if you're just patient, the trouble is when you're trading multiple accounts, it's quite hard to be patient when you've got a lot of money in the line. This is one single account. So I'm not too concerned with one account. Obviously, I won't want to risk. The more accounts you risk, the kind of the harder it is. Cindy. Cindy, you're a new face, I think. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Nice to have some new faces. Now, Cindy, now that is a lady's name over here in the UK, but some other parts of the world it may not be. So I'm assuming you're female, but correct me if I'm wrong. I apologise. It's nice to have some new faces in. Some people have been over here a while and they kind of sit in the background and you know just sort of trade quietly. So that one was a small loss, wasn't it? So that was a 15-point loss. And I got it down here. You have a look. It's about there, wasn't it? 26 points, something like that. I'll sort it out after anyway. So, news is pending in about just over 7 minutes. But so far, it is kind of working, but we are, I mean, yesterday was an absolute diabolical day. I mean, look at it. Let's go back. All there. Chop, chop, chop. That was a horrible day. Look at that. Loads of it. There was about an hour, 2 hours of complete chop. Horrible day, in my opinion. There was one or two trades around, which I left. There was that one. Now, I know Thomas Way took it. I think a couple on his Discord. Mac did mark it with a green arrow, so a higher risk trade. Now, the issue I have with that is, as we discussed yesterday, wish you wouldn't do that. As we discussed yesterday, it's clearly congested. So if you take that and it triggers and stitches you up, the simple answer is it's because it's congested. Now, that'll work more times than it won't. But it's whether you want a higher record and less losses and to be fed by the losses. And same that one there. There was another one, a triple test, which worked. I don't like that one. It was, well, actually, tell a lie, I think it was this one, wasn't it? It never triggered initially. It actually went up and then came down and eventually triggered. But by the time it triggered, we were stacking up again. And the trouble is, some days you'll win those. Other days, it'll trigger you, take you out there, trigger you, take you out there. Some days, I don't know, it just seems to want to make your life miserable, and other days it kind of just decides to give you a break. But I left those anyway. Now, yeah, some they'll win, some they'll lose, but it's just one of those things. But with the type of day it was yesterday, it was very choppy. There was a lot of traps, which is why I decided I didn't really want anything to do with them. Because there's nothing worse than losing trades on a day like this. These types of days you really want to kind of try and stay out of or wait for moments of clarity. But it was very whippy. And I bet, a few got stung a bit there yesterday. Hopefully more stayed out. But it wasn't an easy day yesterday. But they do happen. So, I'll sort that out later. It's just a bit confusing with loads of them on there. News, where are you? 4 minutes. Anybody having any luck with these news indicators yet? I had a message from Zen about downloading the original one. I downloaded it, but it won't open for some reason. I don't know. So I can't seem to get... Your second one was 95 ticks. That one, was it? I definitely got more with the second win, but trouble is it's so much easier to work it out on here. And I'll sort it out later. I am up a bit on this anyway, so... I think I'm up at about $120, I think, something like that. So that was a better trade. That one, a bit congested really, but that was a better trade. It did come back, but sometimes I think if it's a strong enough trade, it will hold. And we had a leg down, so I thought there was a good chance we have another leg down, and we did. We had a leg and a leg. Not quite a measured move, but it isn't over yet. I'm reading the file from the same web location. Try to reload Ninja script. Right click. Yeah, I've done that multiple times, bud. And it does nothing. So sometimes it'll just pop up. I have deleted at the moment, but the news is pending anyway. So I really like the original one. I've had that for 3 years, for over 3 years, that one there. Now, I got a message from Zen saying he looked at the code in there and he think he figured it out, but I couldn't open it for some reason. So let's just... where's the news? News is about 2.5 minutes. Okay, so we've got some time. So show low impact, I don't do that. High impact medium. It's not the code, it's just server request, is it? Let me have a look. Enable country filter. I want everything gone bar USA. I think that's all right. So let's see if it works. Apply. Okay, so that's worked. The trouble is, as soon as I start messing with it, it's a bit high there. So what I'll do, or what I normally do then, is just bring it down a bit, which is left-hand margin, top margin. So let's do 55. See if this now makes it disappear. Apply. Oh no, happy days. Let's really risk it now. Just adjust it again to 40. Now it's disappeared. Should have just left it. Typical. Showing it's there, but it's... you reload it. If you load it too many times, the server denies a request and it won't get any news result. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to completely delete it. Reload Ninja script. How do I actually completely delete it out of Ninja Trader? Any idea? I think that might be my best option. Completely delete it and then reload it as new. See, I'm better with hardware than software. Let's have a look. Let's remove it. Let's try one more time. See, even when it's up there, sometimes it just disappears. So, low impact. Top margin, 45. And allow country filter. Fingers crossed. Apply. Nothing. No. Okay, news. We've got the news. So that measured leg did play out, bottom right to the tick, so that would have worked. Your document folder, NinjaTrader folder bin, then custom, and you can delete indicators. Excellent. Let me see if I can do it without messing everything up. Let's bring this out of the way. So I think it's in documents, isn't it? Documents, NinjaTrader 8. Was it again? Was it bin or something? Bin then custom. So bin and custom. Right, okay, I got it here somewhere. Is it just the dill file? I think I've got to. Trouble is, I've got that much in it. Tons of replicanto updates and stuff. So, would it be in a folder? Would it be in a folder or not? Will it be in a folder, Jan? Do you know? Because I've got all these. You just bring it in, but I can't see it. Just wondering whether it'll be in a folder or whether it'll just show on its own. Can't see it. Tons of replicanto. Can't see it. Let's have a reach through it later. Says there. No, I can't see it. I'll have to have a read through it later. Okay, what's going on here? Let's have a look at this. This thing's flying, look. Where are you going? So, news is gone. Is there something larger? What if it's anything to do with that? Maybe a bit early. Strangely enough, Thomas Waiter's just put that very same thing on. Let's have a look. 04 right this second. So that's interesting. So maybe it is I was just about to delete it. Oh no, tell a lie. He's put it on from there. My mistake. Let's have a look. So he's put it on from there to there. Hard to say. There is a higher low there. It's not very good signal bar though. Leg, sideways leg. So I'm just going to get rid of the colour there because although we got overnight highs and overnight lows, I mean, this could come back into a range. I'm starting to think maybe not a range now. So look, under custom, there is a folder named indicators. Let me have a look. Stored in drawing tools folder. Interesting. There's a failure there. The bearish bar. Triangle once, triangle twice. That's interesting. Yeah, there is. I've got it. Indicators. Okay, there it is. Let's delete it. I've deleted it. I'm going to delete the other news. Let's delete both of them. See what happens. I might need to restart NinjaTrader, I think, mightn't I? So yeah, I have deleted those two. So I'm just going to reboot my. Sound like stuff yesterday. Yeah. I'm just going to quickly reboot my NinjaTrader. Excuse me, just a wee second. Hopefully. Incorrect. Capitals on, haven't I? I hate that. Okay, I'm just reboot my NinjaTrader. So my fellow futures and rhythmic. So okay, that should work now.
Order submitted.
2, 3, yeah.
Order cancelled.
Okay, let's see if it's disappeared, then I can just reload it later then. Should have disappeared. It has, hasn't it? Yeah, it has. Good. Let's have a look. Yeah, it has disappeared, I think. Oh no, there it is. Ugh. Let's see what's going on. Let's try it one more time. So let's get rid of that. Top margin 45. See if this makes a difference. Otherwise, I'm going to throw something out the window. Let's have a look. Enable filter. Fingers crossed. Okay, I ain't touching a thing now. At least it's worked anyway. That's the main thing. Happy days. Okay, what's going on here? So, this does look like it's back into the range.
Order submitted.
Come here, come here. Oh, you damn thing. That's a shame. I just missed it. It was a nice failure trap in some shorts.
Order cancelled.
This is going up back into the... Oh, it's a shame. Oh, well. Not quick enough. Let me just reload my historic. I think everything's working as is. Okay, so shame about that. That would have worked out nice. That would have done. So it does look like we've pushed back into a range. So I'm just going to make that disappear. Let's think possible range. I like the way it's gone up and bounced there as well. It's not the easiest to read at the moment. I wonder if there is something like that. Got a nice scalp, the failure of the higher low. You're about there, are you? No, you're about the failure, didn't you? Which, I'm assuming you went long there, did you? Is that what you meant? To trap that short. Kind of, I think that's what you did. It's kind of what I was looking at on the. I jumped in there, but it didn't come back and get me. Second entry short, triggered, pushed up. I jumped in above there, but it just turned and never came down. Okay, so I gotta try and figure out what's going on here. I don't want to assume this is coming down and look at the short, because at the moment my guess is it looks like it's coming down. It's sort of more bearish, but I'm still not massively convinced. If we end up getting up here, it could just be a range day with this break out of it. But Thomas Wade has still got it as a downtrend, but with a break. He had that initial thing there. I think that's why I initially had it. Yeah, it was. It's not sure at the moment. It definitely seems to be a sort of a downward bias. But this could trap some shorts. So we've got a channel with a break and a new high, big bearish bar. There is a lower high there. It's very tempting, that. I'm not sure about this. I'm still not convinced I know what's going on. I like the way it triggered that, but it's already pushed down and broke below it. Just not convinced this is a channel, really. It might well be. Yeah, Marco's just made a good point. That lower part of the channel could also be a possible overshoot. So it hasn't formed into a good bearish bar anyway. So yeah, it's a bit, I got some mixed feelings here. Could be a bit of an overshoot there, which is what's caused this and a break. Possible second entry long. I'd like to see that trigger. It's very easy to get sucked into going short here and then get stung because it's not super clear. So that bar didn't trigger, and it wasn't that bearish, in all fairness. Yeah, it's stacking up a bit here. You can get a bit caught out here. So I'm just going to sit tight. I think the general consensus is it is got a sort of downward feel to it, but it is stacking up, so that could make things work a little different. There's no entry here at the moment anyway. There is a bar on my other charts, but that isn't really a lower high. It's more of a break from a range. A break from it. We've got a small channel with a little break. So I don't want to just assume and take that, because it is a little bit stacked and there is a bit of support along here. So it could trigger you and stop you out, and it looks exactly what it's doing. That's the trouble when it's a little bit unclear. I think to take a lot of these trades, you really need to be clear what's going on, and I'm just not at the moment. Having said that,
Order submitted.
there may be something here. Let's have a look. Channel down with 2 pushes. There's liquidity here and here, so I think if it does get down there,
Order
there
filled.
we go. Liquidity there and there, so it's a failure actually trapping some longs. There's some liquidity there and there, so I don't think it's bad. Channel break. It is a failure. Nice bearish bar. I like where it is. There'll be some liquidity there and there, so I'm not going for a massive. What am I going for? 8 points or something like that.
Stop filled.
It just goes to show you. I don't mind taking that on one account. It just goes to show you sometimes you get a failure. It's looking bearish. Nice looking bar. Triggers you, comes up, stops you out. It just goes to show how easy that can happen. But just trade this one account doesn't really stress me. So, so 1, 2, 3. There may be a triple test there. It is a bit stuck though.
Order filled.
Let's try this one. I am taking it further down though. It's actually really a triple test there. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes it'll take you out for one tick and then go right in the direction you think it would have done. There's a higher low there on the yes, which is triggered. That's interesting. I'd like to see that come down and break below there. If that happens, I think that then will bring it down. Needs to come below there. Whipping around a bit now. Get below there, come on, and there.
Target filled.
Nice. Okay. That worked better. So, same principle up here. First one didn't work, second one did, so that didn't work. Stopped you out by a tick, and then it often goes in that direction. I'm trading this more because it's an individual one, more on gut feeling. I like the way it's trapped some longs. It came up there, stopped it out for a tick. It does that. It's annoying when it does that, and then it ends up going. So it's worked out okay there. So today, much better that was. So that one didn't, that did, that didn't, that did. That was more of a triple test. I like the way it trapped the longs, came right down, so I thought there was a good chance that was going to work and it was going to break below there, so I got out down here somewhere, so I got a reasonable move off that. So, I wonder Well, if there is something larger there. Now, there is a possibility that, say, we could be sort of, this could be the bottom of a range. Pretty much range yesterday.
Order submitted.
Channel break. Yeah, if this is a channel, my only issue is we're not getting down low enough. What I like about these My Funny Future ones, they'll only let you trade one contract on the PA, so it's a lot harder to stuff yourself up if you make a couple of mistakes. So, it'd be nice to see that stopped out. You got a channel with a break. No new high from this. Triggered that bar there, came straight down, stopped it out just in case anyone went along there. Still not ready to take a trade here at the moment. It's just a little bit sideways, it's a little bit unclear. There could be a possible failure there.
Order cancelled.
This is almost looking like there's something wide there. Not sure about that. I like the way it's triggered that long there and pushed down, but it's just a bit unclear. I don't know whether we're going to have a leg and a leg and come up to it. I've got no idea. It's just not very clear at the moment. Let's have a look. No idea. That's about the best we got at the moment. We've had a break. We've made an attempt to make a new low. We haven't. There may be a second entry short there, but I'm just not sure what's going on here. There is a failure there, which worked, but I wouldn't want to go long just at the moment. So we have made a new high there by a tick or two, whatever it is, but we have made a new high. Kind of a triple test on this chart, yeah. 1, 2, 3, but it's above that EMA really. Same chart, just 1, 2, 3, or even 2 legs down, 2 attempts to go up. Possible lower high there. There'll be some liquidity there for sure.
Order submitted.
2 attempts to push up, lower high.
Order filled.
Excuse me a sec.
Target filled.
Sorry about that, folks. I'll get out that trade. 2 dogs running around. What happened? Excuse me just a sec. Sorry about that, folks. Daughter running, dogs running. What's going on? If I make something, yeah. There's nothing worse to get disturbed when you're in the middle of a trade. Okay, Okay, is this working? It looks like it is. I got out of it for $100 on each. So sorry about that. That's what I went for there. So I like the way we had 2 legs down, 2 attempts to push up, push below the EMA, lower high. Now I'd normally go for 3 points there, so I expect that to work. Well, yeah. I think I got in a little bit late, actually, to be fair, but I think it probably will. Yes. Okay, so maybe I should have just left it. In fact, there is a
Order
lower high
filled.
there. Some liquidity there. Come on, take out that. Let's put this up out of the
Target
way.
filled.
Yeah, beautiful. That was worth it there. There was a little lower high there, so I'm doing nice on that account. That account's up $1,000 today. Beautiful. I did take something earlier. So nice little trade there. I like that. I wanted to go below there. So let's have a look. That was the trade there, the lower high. That worked. I got out of it because my daughter came in and started talking, and 2 dogs ran in and started barking. So I like that. 2 legs down, 2 clear pushes up below the EMA. That is a penguin style trade there. I dare say I'll probably take something like that, maybe around about there, from there, and then out before the lows. So I could have held for 3 points. Do you know that the ironic thing is, if I'd have held there, I'd have got 3 points. The last trade I got out of for $175, if I'd have held, I'd have got 3 points. So I'd have been up $325 if I'd have held for the last 2 trades. And that $325 would give me basically a free loss. So if I'd have held for the 3 points for those last 2 trades, I would have been $325 up, so I could afford a loss and still be where I am now. So I really, I just got distracted all of a sudden. My daughter came in and 2 dogs ran in and started barking. So that's been pretty productive today. I've learned if I take a trade, I let it play out whatever the outcome is, even if it's wrong. Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree. I would say probably the last 4 or 5 winning trades I've had, if I've gone out early, they've gone on to make 3 points. Trouble is, it is. Well, the beauty is I'd have been $325 up. So if I now took a loss, that would cover my losses. If I kind of try to think as losses as a business expense, as a normal part of running a business. So if I'd have allowed those 2 to go for the full 3 points, I'd have been $325 up. So the next loss I eventually have, that would have covered it, and I'd still be where I am now. But there you go. So from now on, regardless of what happens, if I take a trade, I'll let it go, unless it obviously starts going sideways for 10 minutes. But that one, it didn't. It worked as it was supposed to. So I like that. We had 2 clear pushes up, a little double top, and you could even say 1, 2, 3, a triple test. But I played the safe game. I waited for it to go through the EMA, and I took the lower high. But obviously that went, as we know, I got in a few ticks lower, so I'd say probably down here. But it went for, well, double what I would have taken anyway. So 3 points would have worked perfectly. So I would have been 200 up there, ironically. But yeah, it is weird, isn't it? We do these things. And you know, I'll tell you what, Kev, the ironic thing is, and this is how it works. Next time I take a trade that I think about getting up, that I get in, it'll stop me out. I bet you any money that happens. Worst feeling is when you take a trade and you get out early and it goes, yeah, you decide to enter again and lose it. Yeah, I've done that as well. Yeah, you know, I think this is, you know, I kind of look at my trading day by day, and I have got some annoying things that I really need to start growing up and saying, look, if I'm going to do this for a living, I need to start and stop messing around, because I do a lot of messing around. I think I get into these trades, I get out, and then I get back in. And I think what I need to do was, when I get a trade, I mean, 3 points is not an unrealistic amount, at all. I think it's very few trades where the market goes only 2 but not 3, and I mean very few trades, maybe 1 in 10. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. I'm getting 50% extra profit. So every 3 trades, effectively, you've purchased yourself a loss, really. But the trouble is, it's okay saying that, but the only way that calculation works is if you leave, because we never get out of a loss early, do you? You always wait. A loss always takes you out. You have, if I'm risking 3 points, I'll never come out of a loss early. I always wait for it to hit the loss. In fact, in some cases, I'll even move my stop a tick or 2. So it's weird. When you're in a losing trade, you're prepared to give it a little bit more space. But when you're in a winning trade, you do the complete opposite. And I read something from a trader, and he said that's one thing that he learned that started to change his trading. That's where we go. You're damn right it is, mate. Yeah, it's a really good point, that, Kev. It really is. You don't trust the system. Do some back testing and get the confidence. But I mean, to be fair, back testing wise, I've been back testing these things for 3 years. I know how they work. It's just sometimes when you get into a trade, I think it's the emotions that sort of get to you a bit. But I'm going to do a new exercise from now on, that whenever I get into a trade, now, if it starts to go sideways into a tight, horrible looking range for 10 minutes, then there is a call then, yeah, maybe to get out. But that's more getting out of a trade at break even. That's more scratching a trade that goes completely sideways. But obviously that trade of mine, it did everything but. It actually worked perfect. We had 2 legs down. We clearly had 2 pushes up. Now, Matt will probably mark that as a triple test. But if I'm not sure, the safest bet is to wait for a high low, and we did, and it absolutely worked perfectly. So I probably got in a couple of ticks low, and I should have done. But let's say you get in there. I mean, look, it goes down eventually 7 points. I come out at 3 points, which is all the way back up here. So first bar, second bar, third bar, and I'm out. I dare say there may be some who will put it down at the lows, but sometimes it doesn't work. But 3 points back here, it's around about here. I think that's perfectly reasonable to hold for that. But taking $100 down here is just, the trouble is, and I think it's a thing. It happens to us all. When you get in a trade, when it starts to push down, you feel great. As soon as it starts to come back, that's when you start to question yourself. But as we know, and I know full well, and I've read 1,000 times, markets never just go in one direction. They'll go down, they'll pull back, they go down, they pull back. Now, all that looks like a bearish bar. It could have gone down, come back up and gone down during, the time that bar was active. So a bar coming back isn't bad news. It's a normal part. But try telling yourself that sometimes when, the emotions are there. But I've said this multiple times. And how many times have I said this again and again and again, and I haven't done it? You think how much I've lost potentially. How nice my accounts could have been. But that's got all the hallmarks of a pretty good trade. Is it a 10 out of 10 trade? No, but I think it's an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. I think that'll work 9 times out of 10, maybe a bit more. 2 clear pushes up. Always nice to trap some longs. There's a long failure there. You are trading too many contracts for your comfort. I've tried doing that as well, and what I found is when I went down to a contract, I was taking more trades. And slightly more riskier trades. So I kind of thought 2 contracts. It's funny now. I've got to the stage where I'm not really worried about losing the accounts. I've only got 3 on the go at the moment. And you don't know if you can see them, can you? Yeah, I've just got 3 PAs on the go at the moment and 1 My Fund of Futures PA. I'm not worried about losing the account, strangely enough. I think with that one particularly, my daughter just came into the room and the dog's running and one of them started barking. So I completely lost my focus. It's hard when you got kids, although she's just 16. So I just need to wait for a setup, take it. Because if you're shortchanging yourself on your profits, but you're taking your full losses, you're actually a lot worse off than you think. Did you get the email about going, no, mate, no. It'll only be people that are getting some consistency, that are making money. They're not going to, yeah, my understanding of it is I messaged Charlie Baker yesterday. Now, Charlie Baker knows a few of the Apex boys, and he tends to give me some good solid advice. And I messaged him, and he said to me, only those who got the email, there is a tire thread that was talking about it. And I had a look at it, and it is, if people are making consistent money, they're sending them an email saying we are suspending any more evaluations and we're putting you on probation with the possible outcome that you'll go on to a live account, because as we know, you've got sim PA and then live, and then it didn't get it. Yeah, he has over 300,000, but he hasn't made anything for the last 3 months. And if you look at his trading at the moment, his trading is kind of collapsed a little bit. Since he's not been able to trade that open range breakout, I think I counted he's something like $80,000 down over the last 2.5 months. So he's kind of had to change his sort of strategy or sort of adopt one that he may use in the past, but he hasn't made anything consistent at the moment. And when he was making that money, he was trading without a stop. And obviously Apex, he just lost 3 account. Yeah, he lost a load. It is sad. It's a shame to see someone do so well and then Apex change something that they can't. Now, don't get me wrong. There's 2 sides to that story. Yes, he can trade that, but he traded without a stop. Now, the only issue with that trade without a stop, if you lose once, you blow the account. Now, if you were really risking $2,500 of your own money, you wouldn't trade without a stop. If it hits the stop, the accounts go. If he makes his profit, great. You wouldn't do it. But because it's only really costing him, say, $85, that's all he's risking, not $2,500. So under those circumstances, it might be something that'll work with a prop firm. But obviously, if their plan is to put people onto live accounts, they don't want them trading, they don't want to be copying someone's trades who's not using a stop and who's prepared to let the account blow. It's not a sensible thing to do if you were generally risking your own money. But because he's only risking a small amount with Apex, it works for that style of that he's doing. But I think it's people who are consistently making money. I think Apex are going, okay, we'll put you on probation now. Change a few rules. You can't get no evaluations. In other words, focus on what you're doing and let's evaluate you. And then if so, we'll then move you onto a live account. Saw some others talk about getting the first payout and blowing the account strategy. Not seems to be like various people got hit all over. Yeah. Obviously Apex are kind of, they've made a few stakes and they're trying to sort of grow as a company. And obviously this must be something, I don't know exactly who goes on live account or how many live accounts they got or what the rules are for a live account. But if there are people out there making considerable money, I suppose it would make sense for Apex to copy their trades, because if they're making $100,000 a month or $60,000 a month, Apex could potentially do that as well. Well, could potentially a lot more. That guy who made 1.8 million There are traders out there, will be traders out there who are very good at what they do, making really regular, consistent money again and again. And Apex will want to copy them, I'm assuming. But if you haven't had an email, just carry on as normal. An email isn't bad news. It just means they think you're... there's no fear of me getting one just at the moment anyway. Yeah, it's only... they think I suppose it's an acknowledgement of they think you're pretty half decent. Maybe a while before I get one. But there you go. Do you know of a way to trade Apex and StopTech together in Ninja Trader? Yes, I do. I'm trading 2 at the moment. I'll drag this in and show you. So if I click connections, I'm trading my funded futures PA and my 3 Apex. I'm using that my funded futures through Trade-of-8 and Apex through Rhythmic, so you can trade them at the same time. So it is possible. You can see that one there. There's my funded futures there. So yeah, it does work. So as long as you trade one with Rhythmic and the other with Trade-of-8, you can trade them both at the same time. If you trade in multiple PAs from different companies and trade in multiple companies, maybe through Rhythmic, then the only one I'm aware of is what's it called? I've got it on here somewhere. Gone blank. Quantar. That's the only one where you can trade lots of accounts at once. But I believe, yeah. So I guess I'd have to buy Trade-of-8 Top Step account. No, you haven't got to buy Trade-of-8. No, it's well, you get the data through Trade-of-8. It doesn't cost you anything. No, you don't have to buy nothing. Well, I mean, you got to pay for the evaluation. The good thing about my funded futures is it's about $76, and that is it. That pays for the evaluation and the fee to go live. So if you take an evaluation and pay the $76, if you pass it, you move straight into a PA. You haven't got anything else to pay. That's kind of the attractive thing there. And then you just, when you sign up for it, you tick Ninja Trader, but you're trading it with Apex. Sorry, with Trade-of-8. So all you do then is go onto the Trade-of-8 website, click log in. As soon as you've logged in, shut it down, and then it'll pop up in your Ninja Trader control panel. You're very welcome. Incidentally, if you do use Top Step, I do have an affiliate code for Top Step. It's on my website there. If you use that, I do get a small commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but you don't have to use mine, but it's there if you want it. So it's on my website under somewhere, prop firms and stuff like that. In fact, I did remove a fast track trader. I think they've had some problems there, so I don't really want to encourage anyone to go with fast track trade at the moment. I think they're having some problems, so I think you're probably safe to stay away from there at the moment. The CEO put a message out saying something about a rug pull. Doesn't quite make much sense to me. The only rug pull I understand is in the sort of crypto side of it. I don't know, but I would just beware if you're considering fast track trading at the moment, or certainly look into it and find out what's going on. But there are a few problems. In fact, I've listened to that CEO, and he kind of sometimes with these talks, he's effing this and effing that, and it doesn't really look very professional for a CEO to come over like that. So I wanted to remove it from my Facebook. YouTube. A link on the YouTube. I don't really want to encourage anyone to go there at the moment. He is very erratic, yeah. As a CEO, I don't think you should come on swearing and talking like that. You need to have a certain amount of professionalism, really. Well, I would think so anyway. I certainly wouldn't be acting like that. Erratic does not want me to purchase accounts with them. Yeah, I will probably just sit tight at the moment with them. We'll certainly do a little bit of research because I don't quite know what's going on with them, but they are having a few problems. So, how long have I been going for? An hour and a half. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, guys. Just going to stretch my legs and make a cup of tea because my mouth's drying up at the moment. So I'm just going to pop that on there and I'll leave you for about 3 to 5 minutes. Right, what did I miss? Not a lot, really. So, So there is a second entry along there, but that's no good, to be fair. It may work, but it's congested. It's a million miles from that EMA. So nothing I can do there, unfortunately. Now, you could agree that we may have already had a break and a new high. But I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. There is a possible failure there, back to the EMA, but I'm just sitting tight. I don't like this. I don't even know whether we've already had a break and this is coming down or what. But I don't like what I'm seeing here, really. I mean, if you... Initially, I would have gone from there to there, and that fitted nice, beautifully, and then we had a break. So I think we've already... In fact, I actually like that. So my gut is we've already had a break. Now, is there a wider channel? Possibly. It's a bit early, really. I'm not sure at the moment. Let's have a look at this. So I've had a channel down there with a break and eventually a new low. So this may just be a bigger range day. In fact, kind of works for me, that. We kind of had the same yesterday, didn't we? Bit of a channel break. It's pretty much just sideways, I think. So we are kind of working around the midline from top to bottom and the open as well. So if we can drop out the bottom of here, let me have a look. There may be something larger, but sent you a 10,000 tick chart. Look, I did hear I take it you sent it on Messenger, did you? So look, nothing's coming up. Ah, email. Okay. Got you. So that is over what the last couple of days, last 3 days, 1, 2, and today. Yeah, so it does look like it's moving up, doesn't it? We've had a break out of it. This is kind of the break, isn't it? You know, let me flick onto my 10,000. Yeah. So you're looking at that, aren't you? Yeah, we are kind of working up with a drop. So, yeah, I think there's a good chance we get to the overnight highs, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. They're a hell of a colourful, your charts, mate. I got to say, I don't know how you make them that colourful. It's not just that, it's the quality you send them. When I right click and save mine, they just don't seem to be really nice quality. They all seem to come out lovely and bright and colourful. Need a little fell breakout lower to drive it up. Yeah, we do. So, I mean, we've had this channel. Whether you think it's a channel, it's not the best looking channel in the world. But if you say we've had a channel, black background, yeah, I suppose it does. Yeah, sometimes when I used to right click mine and save them and put them on the Facebook group, they're just half the time when you zoomed in, they just didn't look very clear. But yeah, I agree. Black. I have tried going backwards and forwards to black. I don't know, when I see someone's charts, they look nice black. You kind of think black might be a little bit easier on the eyes, but whenever I go onto them, I just want to go back to white for some reason. Yeah, I think certain charts look okay as black, but I don't know what it is about this. I've tried to go over sort of to the dark side, if you like, but I always end up seem to coming back for some reason. So. Excuse me just a second. Sorry about the barking. Sorry about that if I've deafened you. I'll kick the dogs out. White is better for streaming. Yeah, I suppose so. I was kind of hoping we get a little drop out. We may still yet. You can barely hear them, could you? Okay. Well, we just had a knock on the door. I hate it when they don't shut the gate. A knock on the door to a couple of parcels, but one of my dogs, Wilson, usually sits under my desk, and the other one sits on the bed or lays on the bed. But sometimes, every time the door knocks, they're up and barking. I think it's more me hanging over the mic, jumping myself. So it does look like it's more like just ranging. We go down, we go up. Look at that. Quick push up. Was there anything there? So let's see if we can reevaluate this now. Not sure. That doesn't look that bad, actually. That looks like a two-tier channel to me. We push straight up to the top, work in that top tier, move sideways, bounce off this, pick up this line, start to work up, and off we go. So I think that's okay. So unfortunately, I thought we may get a little bit more of two legs down there. Maybe a small drop out to the MA would have been nice. Leg down and leg down, but it just went sideways and then shot up. There may have been... It's a bit unusual, really, because there was... From there was kind of a failure there, and when it seemed to push above that, that's when it seemed to push, but... somewhere, I think it was probably there was a couple there. Trouble is, if you go short there, and this comes down here and does this, surely you'd be thinking about getting out, don't you? When it starts to come back like that, it wouldn't make sense to hold on to that for me personally, but there we go. Now I'll tell you what might be interesting. There is a possibility that it's like a W pattern, isn't it? Just thinking maybe we start going like this within this area, but I don't. Trouble is, when they start going like that, I find it a bit hard. It looks more obvious on there. It's kind of like gone up in an arc, isn't it? On that NQ. It pushes up like that, then it kind of goes like that, and then sort of like this. So it kind of goes up in threes there, and there. It's got different sort of levels of trouble is, you could take that to there. That would probably be the most sensible thing to do, actually, thinking about it. So push there and then up there and then a break and a new high. So this may have already played out. So what I don't want to do is have two legs down, go long, it trigger me, bounce off the underside of this and start to work down. Whether it will or not, I've got no idea, but so that's played out, that channel's played out, and there does seem to be it pushed strong through this and then dropped down, and if you think about it, right along there, there's definitely some support and resistance along there. So it'd be interesting to see whether this tests the underside of this and starts to work down, because technically that's played out, so it's just not super clear, really. Yeah, someone else has put that. That might not look that bad. So look. Yeah, same again. It's gone up in sort of Remove that. It's kind of gone up sharp. Not so steep, or steep, not so steep. And then feathers out even more. I'm not a fan of it when it does this. It kind of goes up in an arc. And we are getting some support on the top of there. Certainly a better day than yesterday. Okay, we're definitely finding some support here, so I would foresee a break out of this channel now. Struggling to get above here. We're at the top of this channel if it is a channel, and then the next push up we didn't quite get there, so I think there's a good chance now we have a little break here. Yeah, I'd like a leg and a breakdown here, maybe to test somewhere on this midline or the EMA or somewhere before I even consider going longer. I think it probably could go up some more. So I'm looking for something like that, I think. Get down to this midline, 2 legs back, 1 leg, 2 legs. Oh, sod off. It's alright, I'm trying to copy the thing. Copy, paste. So, somewhere on the lines of that. Oh, I don't even know why I bothered. I'm just going to delete him. start by connecting the tops, and looks like a two-tiered channel. Tops. Did you put that a while ago? Is this what you mean? Is it? I did have something like that initially. Why is that lag gone up all of a sudden? It's unusual. I think I had something like that initially, didn't I? I don't know. Not sure about that. Okay, there is a failure there. I'm not taking that though. We're right into support, and it's too far from that AMA. Could trigger you and come down. I mean, it may go up, but I think that's risky as hell. Yeah, I think this will come down now. You look on that chart, we've got a little higher low there, which is triggered, so I think it'll come down there. I'd like it to come below there as well, so to give us two legs down, clear that out and clear that out, and then get down to sort of this kind of level somewhere around about here, hopefully. Sometimes they just take off. Lag just started to go up a little bit there. It's unusual. Excuse me. Okay, ideally I'd like that to get down to that midline somewhere around about here, or sit on top of. There is a little bit of support around there, so you can see it there, and we've bounced a couple of times on it and there, so I'd like it to get down to this level ideally before I'll even consider a long. There is another failure there. There's some stops there. If it pushes up, I just think that's risky personally. It's right into support. It may work, but yeah, that's another reason why I wouldn't. That's just too risky. I think this has got to come down personally before I get into it. Now, if you want to go long here, you'd make sense really. You'd be putting your long order down here really, wouldn't you? Well, I certainly would. If I was going to take a trade based on an area rather than a bar, I'd probably be looking to take my trade sort of a tick below there, a couple of ticks below there. So on this NQ, we've had a channel with a kind of a break and a new high. I'm assuming that there was a bunch of sell orders there, wasn't there? Or maybe when it got to there, traders taking profits, thinking this is the third time now. Maybe it may have been may have contributed for both. So at least my news is still here. That's something. It seems to sometimes it'll be there and then next minute it'll disappear. So fingers crossed. It's held. just keep in mind as well. Oh, let me get rid of that break. This 80% off finishes. Say the 9th. The end of November. Sorry, the end of. What's the date? Let's have a look. I haven't changed something. 30th. Just change this quickly. It's the 30th. I'll say the 30th above it. Yeah, it finishes on Monday. This 80% off. Now, the last couple of times they have extended it, so I'm kind of hoping they do the same. It would be nice to get a 90%, but the last couple of times they've had 90%, they've had a nightmare with Rhythmic because every man and his dog's been picking up evaluations, and it just seems to create some problems. Not sure about this. I like the fact that it's triggered that bearish bar, and that may work, but it is a little bit sideways. It's pushed up, it's triggered that big bullish bar and come down. It hasn't taken it out and it's sat there. So would I want to go long there? Not really. Going long into support again. So on that NQ, we've got a channel there with a break. 1, 2 pushes up to, well, a new high and a possible second push up. So you've got to be careful around here. I don't like what I'm seeing here. It's getting a bit unclear. I mean, it was fitting nice there. Now we've had a small break. And I don't like this. It's stacked up. It's not very clear. Nice to see that ATR down a bit, though. That's been high for quite a while. But I don't like the way this is stacking up like this. Let's have a look left. There is some support there. You can see it. You can see it there, a little bit there. I think I can adjust that slightly. Having said that, that is a small break actually. Now, as small as that is, trouble is it fits perfect there, and perfect there. So we have had a break and a new high there. So I just don't like any of this, to be honest with you. I'm just going to let this slide and see what it is. It's just a bit of chop now. Are we going to push up after it? Possibly, but I'm not a fan of it. And on that NQ, that's quite clear. Channel break, 2 pushes to a new high. David of Apex, did he say anything? Anything of importance for us? And any changes? Not really. I kind of thought it was. I was caught. When it come to an end, I actually had to sort of check it again because I'm thinking, he hasn't even told us what the changes are. So it came over as we were going to find out what new changes, but he just seemed to talk about, Apex have let the customers down a little bit, and there was I'm glad he talked about the Discord, because I thought that was some of the things I heard about that Discord was shameful, really, and completely unprofessional. The way some of them were acting on that Discord, threatening to ban people and take their money because they were putting unhappy emojis. That's the sort of stuff you expect to see at school, at junior school, not in a business. So I think that's why they stopped that. That was just utter downright, stupidity, was it? It was completely silly. But I'm kind of glad he admitted it and apologised, because it needed saying, didn't it? Obviously, I-Man or E-Man, whatever you want to call him, he talked about that, but that was just it was completely childish, and it shouldn't have happened, really. And it did Apex no favours, really. But they've apologised. We do seem to be having reports of quick payments, which is interesting. But I'm assuming it was just a little update saying that, there are some changes coming just around the corner, and just a few apologies. I did say a couple of weeks ago, I think he needs to just at least show his face and say hello. Section payout. If you're in probation, you can't take the safety net. Yeah. I think the people, Karina, that are in the probation are the people that are possibly going on to live accounts, that I understand, which I think that's why. So I don't understand otherwise why. It just makes no sense. I understand probation if you're maybe going onto your live account, but there are still some things that are a little bit unclear. But I think as long as you haven't got an email, I don't think you've got nothing to worry about at the moment. He says, let me just remove that because it's one of those stupid, awkward ones. What's going on? I don't know. I don't know. Let me have a look. Probation, that's stupid. I get it if you're on probation. I mean, probation's a bad word, really, isn't it? Probation means you've done something wrong, and we're keeping our eye on you. That makes no sense. Look, at the end of the day, you do an evaluation. They get you to do an evaluation. If you pass an evaluation, you go onto a PA account. We've got the rules. We know the rules. We work within the rules. There was never anything said about probation. All of a sudden now, if we don't like the way you're trading, we'll put you on probation. It's stupid. For other reasons, it just makes no sense to me. Probation, what, they've done something wrong? It's stupid. The trouble is, the more times they have things like this, sooner or later, more and more people are going to walk. They're going to lose customers. For other reasons, I've not heard much about it. I am going to have a bit of a look into it, though. It sounds ridiculous to me. That is probation. Probation. Makes no sense, that. Why do you put someone on probation? What, because they're trading risky? You give them 1 day to pass. What do you expect? You can't offer somebody 1 day to pass, and they're going to start gambling and try and pass. And then all of a sudden, we don't like the way you're trading a bit risky, let's put you on probation. I think the problem is, with Apex giving the 1 day to pass, they created that level, or they created that sort of, gathering of people who are going to take risks. You can't safely, realistically trade and pass an account in a day without taking big risks. You can't do it. If you've got 2,500 drawdown, you've got to make $3,000. You're aiming to make over 100% profit in a day. It's completely ridiculous. Completely agree. Yeah, it's you can't encourage people to take risks to try and pass it so you can make money out of them, and then all of a sudden when they start, you are creating some habits which a lot of traders are going to struggle to get out of. You can't all of a sudden say, oh, we don't like the way you're trading your PA accounts. Well, you created this. They are contradicting themselves, yeah. 1 minute they're saying we're trying to help the trade, and next minute they're giving 1 day to pass. You've got to make over 100% profit. That's absolutely... You tell me a trader, realistically, in the real world, that tries to make 100% profit, it just doesn't happen. You can't create these problems and then start to, crucify people for when they start to take risks. Newer traders, they're very vulnerable. It's very easy to pick up bad habits when you're new. And if you're giving people tools to get them into trouble, which you aren't really, and then you wonder why things go wrong. Probation. When I signed the contract for my accounts, there was nothing on it that mentioned anything about probation. That, in other words, we may introduce something called probation and we will change. I don't think you can do that to someone when they've already got a PA account. They never agree to it. I dare say there's something in the fine print that says we can change whatever we want, but I don't know. I don't think you can have rules for one and not for another. It just seems to me like another reason to try and give people enough rope to hang themselves. Yeah, it's crazy, Karina is. Trouble is, look, when you do these things, you have your rules written down. People read the rules, they know where they stand. Introducing new rules that affect how people get paid after, you don't sign up for a mortgage and all of a sudden 6 months down the line your mortgage says, right, from now on we're going to change it and start doing this. Well, that's not what I signed up for. That's not the agreement that we had. We're going to start charging you double, and we want you now to pay twice a month instead of once a month. The world doesn't work like that. And if you do start to run your business like that, you'll start to lose customers. Don't get me wrong, I like Apex, but they are just, things are coming out that are starting to niggle me a little bit. I know there are, people out there who take risks and stuff, and they may have lost payments or been denied payments. I understand how it works. I'm not naive enough to think that Apex are just making this stuff up. I don't doubt there are people out there trying to scam them, but you need to make things simple. You put it down on a piece of paper. These are the rules. You read the rules before you trade, end of. You don't consistently change things. And then, if someone's built up $1,500-$2,000, that you can't turn around and say, okay, you thought you were going to withdraw money when you get to 2,600. We're going to change the rules now. You now need to make sure that's left in there, because it's like, well, hold on a minute. You can't change the rules mid-sentence. It doesn't work that way. If it's something you're going to change, then you have to do it from now. So any new accounts from now, you have to make sure people know about these things. You can't just drop these things on them, because people will start to have doubts in you, and people eventually won't want to associate with you. Anyway, I've got my one funded futures account. I have had a few of them. I have lost a few of them, but I've got one which I've had for a little bit now. So I think it's good to get another prop firm under your belt as well. You know, my main prop firm of choice at the moment is Apex. Will that change? Possibly. Hey, Sam, how you doing, buddy? How you got on today? You've been trading? Poor day for me. Yeah, I haven't really taken much. I've had ouch. Yeah. I took one on there, so I'm up a bit on my funded futures, and I'm up. Well, I went for 3 points. I went for 3 points, but I got out 100. So I got 100 times 3, and some of them in my funded futures. But yeah, it's not easy today, is it? I've had a good week overall. Can't complain. That's the main thing about you. I remember something you told me once. Don't let one bad day define you as a trader. And it's absolutely true. If you have 2 awful days in a row, but 18 great days in a row, it doesn't matter. Got torn apart in that chop taken in golfing bars. Yeah, it's mind you, I suppose if you look at it this way, Sam, next time you get those types of trades, you'll think twice, won't you? So I don't mind when I get chopped up. Well, I do, but what I try and do now is try and get some value from it. So once something happens so many times, at some point, you're just going to go, oh, I don't like the look of this. I've been here before. And I get it, and you get it, and everyone gets it. When you've been trading a while, you do. When you get a setup, something just doesn't feel right. And you can feel it, you can sense it. It's like, you know, when we got that sort of long there, I'm just like, oh, I don't know about this. Just something doesn't feel right. It never got stopped out, that did, but it got very close. But I just don't like this. It's very high up. You know, I'm unsure whether it's a bigger channel. Is the channel right? So I think at some point you've just got to go, oh, I've got to stay out of this. So, but, you know, yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem long ago. I remember not so long ago, Sam. Oh, not so long ago, you'd had another couple of bad losses, and you were umming and ahhing whether to finish. I remember you saying, "Oh, I don't know," and you took a bit of time off. So it just goes to show the people are going to be that are going to be successful at this business are the people that can get knocked down, take a day or two, gather themselves back together, and get back in again. So, and you're still here and you're starting to make money. Yeah, you've done all right, mate, this year. You've made a lot more money than I have this year. What have I had? I've had 3 or 4 payments. But I have had a difficult spell. But every time I seem to fall on my face, I seem to come back a bit stronger. And what I will say now is the few accounts that I'm trading now, it's not scaring me to trade anymore. I'm not worried about losing them. And if you're worried about losing accounts, it can affect your trading. And you know, they say trading without fear. I've always thought it's near damn impossible. Well, maybe there are levels that you can do it. Hello, stranger. Where have you been hiding? How are you? Nice to see some old faces. Is he with you or is he in the background, or have you finally got rid of him? Yeah, we're doing 24. Good on you, mate. That's all right, that is. That's nothing to be sniffed at. That's pretty good, mate. No issues, Apex at all. Yeah, see, you know, you've taken trades. You've taken your normal trades, haven't you? You haven't done anything shifty. And what happens? You get your payouts. Have you heard about fast track trading? Yes, I have. DJ is trading beside me. Yes, I have. In fact, there was a message. I don't know how you got on with them, but there was a message going around yesterday from Fast Track Trading saying, isn't it saying traded or new evaluations have been halted? I don't want to worry you, but if you don't know about it, I'd rather just tell you that's as much as I know. Let me see if I can find the message. Where was it? What did I get an email? Have a look. Yeah, exactly right, Sam. You have to stick to the rules. And ultimately, you can still mess up. Right? You can still mess up. They switch back. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. You can still mess up and lose trades. That's fine. But I think it's how you handle it. If you go on tilt, it's never going to happen. And I think you need to go on tilt enough to eventually realise I'm just wasting my time doing this. It does not work. And then something will start to change. I've had a tricky few months. I've been a bit frustrated. As you know, my daughter's got ADHD and is slightly autistic. You wouldn't know, but she suffers really bad from anxiety terribly till she's kind of scared to go to sleep at night. So her emotions are all over the place and we're worried as well. So, you know, there's a lot of frustration and some arguments and stuff, and she tends to lose her temper a lot, and, you know, you're worried about kids and all that. And I think that's probably not helped me a little bit. I've been tired and impatient. You know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, she's scared to go to sleep in case she doesn't wake up. She's going all through this sort of stuff at the moment. So I think that's making things a little bit difficult for me. Well, it's certainly not helping anyway. I'm not using it as an excuse. But, you know, I know if things are going on in your life, it can show in your trading. But apart from that, everything's fine. And I did spend time on those 20 accounts as well. I was trading 10 out of 10, so that took quite a bit of time. So I think the secret really is just don't try and run before you can work. I got those 20 accounts. I probably shouldn't have done well. I shouldn't have done. I should really, you know, I think you should stick with 1 or 2 and then move up to maybe 3 to 5. And it's kind of pointless really going for large accounts if you've never had a payment or something, because, you know, I mean, Wilson's had these few issues, isn't he? He's blown quite a few of them. Having said that, he has had some decent payments out of them, so they've certainly more than paid themselves. But I think every time you blow some, I had a chat with Wilson a couple of days ago, and he says he feels like he's in a good position now. He's got another 150 accounts. And I think he'll do okay this time. You know, I don't think you go from being a poor trader to a great trader overnight. It does move up very slowly, and I think he's not far off consistently making money, Wilson, I don't think. He's got a good attitude towards it, and he can take these sort of dumps and arse kickings and bounce back. I mean, we all can. But I think his time's getting very close, I think. I still don't feel successful. I have met some... Yeah, I know what you mean. It's okay getting a payment or 2, isn't it? But you know, you kind of think the ideal place you want to be is getting something every month, because I'm assuming at some point in the future, you know, if you're getting consistent wages, you'll ask yourself the question, now what do I do? Do I continue to work and do this part-time, or do I, you know, take that leap? But, you know, I think if you're going to do something like that, it's a good idea to have a good chunk of money in you, maybe 12 months salary, something like that you've made from trading, you know, a year, you know, 12 months, 18 months salary. So at least you've got something to fall back on. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you can get yourself maybe a nice $50,000 or something like that, you had a year's salary stuck in the back that you've made from trading, you've effectively bought yourself a year. Yeah, absolutely. Which really shouldn't be very difficult. If you can get if you can get 10 accounts and get, say, 3 $2,000 payments, you know, off them, you know, you've got yourself £50,000 there, $60,000. It's not really a great feat once you can do it. You know, once you can do it and something clicks, it's not difficult to earn that sort of money, you know, speaking on from more of a financial point, not that trading isn't difficult, it certainly is. But yeah, once you've got that, you can sort of say to myself, okay, well, I've done well over the next 12 months. I've managed to build up this. I can clearly make more working half the time, you know, that I can. I bought myself 12 months. Let's, you know, And I'm pretty sure you'd probably rather work 2.5, 3 hours a day than, you know, work your job. I mean, that's not to say you don't enjoy your job, of course, but no, your job's, you're an engineer, aren't you? So it's kind of a nice career, but it's certainly nice to have the option to not have to go out in the morning, in a freezing cold morning, freezing your nuts off when there's snow everywhere. It'd be nice to know you can get out of bed at 10 o'clock in the morning and just, you ain't got to worry about jumping on the charts till 2 in the afternoon. So it's definitely got those benefits, and obviously then you can, you know, you've got the option to move wherever you want in the country or the world. It does come with a lot of benefits being a trader, but to get there takes hard work, consistency, and a bloody thick skin. You know, you got to spend a lot of time getting kicked, and you got to get up, and that's where I think traders fail. That they get to a point where they go, enough's enough. That's enough for me. Oh, 30 years. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you know what, Sam? I've never liked working for other people. Never. You know, I worked for an oil company. I was a tanker driver. I used to pick the base oil up from sort of Stanlow area in Cheshire. And that was pretty well paid. I was on about 37,000. I left that about 5 years ago. It was Monday to Fridays, but just, you know, on every notice board they had signs about equality and stuff like that. And then come Christmas, all the managers and their wives would get, you know, taken over to Birmingham to a nice hotel for the night, taken out for a slap-up meal, and their wives all paid for, and the lads that worked got nothing. They had to arrange their own pay for it all. Where's the equality in that? All this stuff about we want to all work together to make the company better. You know, in the meanwhile, they're all thinking about themselves. You used to get respected years ago with jobs, didn't you? Lots of jobs years ago. You get a house. I'm not saying all companies are the same, but there's so many companies out there just want your pound of flesh. They don't give a damn about you. Direct manager is great, really nice guy. Yeah, there are good jobs out there for sure. I've had some good jobs and worked with some really. I think a job for me has been, like you say, it's a lot about who you're working with. If you're working with nice people, a job can make you or break you. But my transport manager was a complete arsehole. Just a nasty guy. Just nasty guy. Just pick constantly. But I was so glad to get out of there. And my sort of, it was a sort of a family-run company which they'd had where I live. I think it's about 150 years old. They started delivering oil when it was on a horse and cart. But just not nice people. You know, they look after themselves, all the managers. They got their little clique, and the rest they just don't care about. So I've never enjoyed working for people. I have worked for myself once or twice, and it's so nice. You know, I got no issues with working my ass off as long as I'm getting out. You know, I got no problem with hard work. But if it's for somebody else and you're not appreciated, I've just never enjoyed it. It's much nicer to work hard and know you're the one that's going to directly, you know, you and your family are going to directly get the benefit from it. What is going on here? Is this channel? I'm still not sure. It could be. It's not the best looking channel in the world, is it? Where are we in relation to the top? Let's sit that there. There is a little bit of support there. We're not far from these tops now. No, but because I drove for a few years, I used to walk to work. So we had 2 cars, and I just decided to start walking just to get some exercise. So I'd walk 2 miles there and 2 miles back. And sometimes I'd start at 4 in the morning, so leaving your house at sort of 3:20 in the morning when it's absolutely freezing outside, you know, doing a 12-hour shift. It's not fun, is it? great in the summer, but in the winter. So I kind of like the idea of working from home and not having to just go out at ridiculous o'clock. So I'm not sure about this. Now it does fit in there, but it's not the nicest looking channel. Let's remove it a minute and have a look. So we got this bit, and then we got, I did have something here. Was it about here? Yeah, okay, so I did have that. So would you consider that an overshoot? Well, if that's a channel, it sort of is, but there could be something larger there. I don't know whether we're bouncing off this and we're going to come down or whether we're going to push higher. I don't know. We got all-time highs up here. Time is it? 2.5 hours. We're still good. So at least I'm up a trade today. I should have held, but there we go. Done well. I'm in my funded futures today. I did take a couple earlier, and I'm about $980 up on that account today. I'm trying to trade that on sort of gut feeling, really, and just what looks right. Let's go. It's hard to read today. Yesterday was worse. At least we are moving. It's pretty much a range there, I think, in all fairness. Sticking with 3 PAs at the moment. I'm on 3 PAs. I'll tell you what, Sam. I've been up to 20, although I only actually traded 10 at a time. And 3 isn't really scaring me. Well, I say, you know what I mean, scaring me. It's not really making me nervous. Well, let me just describe it like this. I'm not worried about losing them. Whereas if you have 20, well, even 10 unnerved me. As soon as I was in a trade, I wanted to get out of it. But 3, I think it's a nice number. You know, you can still withdraw $2,000 from each, $6,000. And once you can get a payment or 2, I think then add to it, then maybe add 2 more and go up to 5, and then just add a couple of 3 at a time. Every time you get a payment, add a couple more. But I think we're all getting to the stage now where it's trying to find a nice bit of balance. The trouble is with this trading, we hear so many stories about people making huge amounts of money. It's very hard not to get blinded by the almighty dollar. You know, you see people like, you know, Alpine making 300 grand. I mean, that's serious money. I dare say the average person in the States earns that in about 6 years. So to earn that in the first half of the year, you know, that's serious life-changing money. And it's very hard to get tied up into that excitement about, oh, I've got 20 accounts now, I'm gonna make this amount and that amount. But it's easy to think about that, but when stuff starts going wrong, that's when you need to be able to control yourself. And trading just too much too quick, it's very hard to deal with that. So it's trying to find some nice balance. Now, obviously, the more you're trading, the more, you know, these emotions will be starting to simmer down a bit. They won't have that hold on you. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. You could get rid of the fear altogether if you wanted to go down to 1 micros. But, you know, I don't know if anybody else has sat down and worked out how long it'd take me to earn some money with, you know, trading a micro. But, you know, we're not risking as much money with an evaluation and a peer account, so you can kind of risk a bit more. I'm not sure what to do here. We've kind of had a pull back to the EMA. There is a higher low there, but it's too far for that EMA. It could trigger and come down. Now, I like the look of that. Nothing looks great today, but I don't think it looks terrible, so that is a bit of an overshoot. We have hit some support here, so it could come down. So I don't know whether it's going to push up some more or come down, so I don't want to be stuck in a trade that may trigger me and stop me out. But yeah, I think 3 is a good number, Sam. It doesn't worry me about losing them. 320. Yeah, I used to worry me sleep about losing them. And I think it's a good idea to sort of build up slowly. You know, if you manage to get a payment from the 3, add a couple extra, it soon mounts up. And then sort of build that sort of, you know, help to manage that fear level a little bit slower rather than jumping straight up. See, Wilson lost his 20 again, then jumped straight in to pass them all in one trade, which again is risky. He's paid $1,000 for those. You could lose them, but I think the thing is with Wilson this time round, he's made a reasonable amount of money, and he's certainly paid for what he's lost. And I think he's had a taste of it, and I think he's pretty close, Wilson, to doing really well. Not that he isn't now, but I think he's close to being consistent, Wilson. But he's been doing it quite a while. And he's stuck at it, and when he's been knocked on his arse, he's got back up. And eventually you get better at it. So hats off to him. He's a good bloke, Wilson. I know, I felt losing 20 accounts. He's lost 4 lots of them. It's heartbreaking. So, this is interesting. We've had a leg down. It's a bit congested there, but that higher low there has been triggered. And it started to come down, so we could have a leg and a leg, or this thing could revert. It could reverse. There's an overshoot. There's an overshoot. It could be bouncing off, you know, highs there. I mean, it could come down. I wouldn't want to be in that long trade now. And if that is an overshoot, that lower high stroke failure could come down to the EMA, but I'm just sitting tight because I don't know what the hell's going on at the moment. Thomas Wade's just come back with that again. I kind of had something similar, but it's just not the best looking channel in the world, is it? I don't know. I fear that'll get stopped out though. It's congested. It's too far from the EMA. Surely it's easy picking that. Easy bit of liquidity to pick up. We got a leg with a break. I'll be amazed if that doesn't. Yeah, straight through it. So possible second entry long. I don't even know whether this is a valid channel. That's my issue. Yeah, someone took that trade and lost it. There is a second entry long there. I think the high-low might be a better option. It's a safer option. We've had a leg. We could come down a bit further. I don't know how valid this channel is. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't jump out at me and fill me full of nice rosy feelings. I don't think it's bad, but it's such a big bloody risk.
Order submitted.
Not risking a full amount, see if it gives us on a limit order. Mind you, the only issue is we've got a channel down there, 2 attempts to push higher. This could come down. I don't know. I'm not even a massive fan of this thing, but 1, 2, 3.
Order filled.
Okay. So I go at that. I got on a bit of a limit order anyway. One, two, 3 bars sat on there, so see what happens. It is kind of a nice correction, so you got to go for it, take it. Let's have a look. Well, there is a few in it. 1, 2. There's 3 in it that I know of. Only issue is we are finding a little bit of support there. I want out of this.
Target
I
filled.
want out of this. Something about this I don't like. Channel down. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. There's also a possible triple test. There's something about it I don't like. There's such a lot of support there, and that's worrying me. There's a lot of support there. We've got a channel down there, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher. This could come down. And part of the, if this channel was beautiful, I'd hold, but it's concerning me. I like the setup, but my concern is I don't like that support. And I'm just not a lover of it. If this channel was nice, I'd take it and I'd keep it. But I think this is, look at this now, look. It's not gone very high. That is such a strong bar. You'd expect that to work quick. Excuse me, but there's just something about this I don't like. There's a lot of support there, but it is a channel down. 1 attempt to go high, 2nd attempt to go higher. It could trap some longs in here and rock it down. I hope it works. But it's not filling me full of confidence, this. On that NQ, there's going to be some liquidity there. And if that comes below there, this could drop quickly. So this is unnerving me. I hope it works. I really do. But this is concerning me. We triggered it, tried twice to get up, little double top, and came back. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I hope it does work, but it is risky. It's such a big bar as well. I just don't like this channel at the moment. I think a higher low would be the safer option. See, Thomas Wade says it's a triple test. I don't class that as a test of it. It just pushed up, crossed over. Because that to me is once, that's twice. So that to me, I don't know about you guys, but that to me is not a triple test. That is just happens to be sitting on it. such a strong bar with two legs like that. It's unusual for it to do that and come down. It is working, I think, which is good news. I dare say there might be a couple of you in it, but it just worried me, that did. It's struggling to get through there. Taylor's in it as well. Where's Taylor? He's right there. Taylor is. Yeah, I'm still glad I got out of it. There's such a lot of support there, and with a channel down, one attempt to go higher and a lower high which worked, it really could trap you there. We've got 4 little tops now, say, in fact 5 tops if you add that. It's fine. Yeah, I think the sensible thing, it may push through, it probably will, but there's such a lot of support there which is making that really risky in my opinion. So I got out of it for a break even. I'm quite glad I did. It's just risky. This could come flying down. Yeah. Yeah, what's it's just said, it's a bit risky, to be honest. It is. There's such a lot of support there, see. You can imagine how many stops are going to be below there. That thing's going to... I mean, I think if you put a short one tick below there, I think you'll make a couple of points in one smash. That's if it does. I kind of hope it does push up. But, you know, there's 4 tops there, 5 tops there that's struggling to get up. So for me, it's just... And when it's going slow like this, it's got a habit of just launching down. One, two, three. This would be a triple test if it came down here. If it doesn't manage to stop that out, then that might not be terrible. Yeah, Taylor said he's bailed. I'm glad I got out there. It may still work. I hope it does. Yeah, Thomas is out break even as well. And someone else break even. Yeah, look at that. Will it hold? It may hold. It may still hold. Sometimes if it's a strong enough position, it may hold. Someone's trying to protect that, look. Yeah, I think just having that support there is a warning sign, channel down. And the fact that the second entry short stroke failure worked for 2-3 points. 1, 2, 3, that'll be a triple test for me. Thomas Wade call that a test. I wouldn't have done. And then when you've had that as well, I think that's the time to maybe consider getting out of there. It may still hold, but it's such a big bar anyway that it's just not worth the risk for me. If it does break below that bar, I can see a lot of stops being below there. It's trying to take it, isn't it? It may hold. Sometimes they do hold. I have a feeling it's going to smash through it quickly. There's definitely a battle going on, isn't there? I think we're a tick away from bottom. I'll be surprised if it doesn't now. Yeah, oh, not quite. It's got to, surely. Yeah, it has. Not quite the push I was expecting. Oh, now it has a little bit one. Yeah, I'm assuming there was a few ticks there. Yeah, okay, I'm glad I stayed out of that one. Leg and a leg, it makes sense. Leg, couple of attempts, especially when we had that lower high with all that support there and that lower high, and that worked for me. More of a penguin, 2 legs. Now, you might say going short in an uptrend, but I've said for a while now, there's something I don't like about this uptrend. I can't get it to work. So I'm glad I got out of that one, because there's so many things going against that. When I got in it, I just noticed that. And then when we started making them, I think it's a time to get out. So when that came back, I think I got out. Like there was more resistance at the top. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See, I think the trade itself wasn't that bad. This, I think, was a problem. That shouting risk, especially have a channel down with a break, a lower high, and it does come down and make a new low, so that it has technically played out. And then when we go out and go sideways, but I think that's a time when it starts to go like that, the time to get out, especially if it's a big risk. I mean, if you manage to get in down here and you're risking a 1.5, then it may still be worth holding. But I bet there'll be a lot of traders who got stung there. A few got out. I think I posted I got out there. Let's have a look. I think a few did. Where did I put my post? Yeah, out for break even, and then he said he bailed. Out plus 1 tick. And then someone else got out for break even, and someone else break even -1. Someone else got out for 2 ticks. And then Thomas took break even. Yeah, so once 1 or 2 start, people start thinking, oh, everyone's getting out here. So it's kind of why I kind of like having this, actually, because if you see a lot of people doing something, especially like getting out when it goes like that, then I mean, I got out relatively early in it, but so we've got that now. So that might not be a bad trade if that was a little bit more bullish, because that's a nice correction. That unfortunately, it's not very bullish, but it is 2 legs. So 3 points would get us to there. You could say a little fell breakout. It's cleared out any of the crap anyway. So I think there's a good chance this will go up to these tops now. I'm not trading it, so I'm not that confident in it, but it is a nice correction. And I am watching these corrections, because sometimes when we get these corrections like that, leg, 2 legs up, leg down, and you get a nice bullish bar, Mac marks them. So I'm trying to make a mental note of them, because often if you get a leg up and a correction, you Mac describe it as the center of the move. So we could get up a bit higher, but the bar's not great and the channel's not great, so I wouldn't take it personally, but I just want to see if it works. Bar's naff anyway, really. I'll get rid of it anyway. It's just a tick above there anyway, but it looks like it's going to go down anyway. So, yeah, there's been some dodgy, funny... It's been a funny day again. It's almost like a sort of like a strange sort of W pattern, isn't it? Leg down, 2 legs up, leg down. So it is a leg and a leg. It is a correction. So let's see if it does get a tick above there. So I suppose the good thing about that trade is you did get ample opportunity to get out. I mean, when we hit that first one and we started to come down, that's probably the option to come out. But it did manage to come up again a little bit. So, well, it crossed over, so you probably had a chance to get out a few options. You know, first, second. If you didn't do it the third one, when you hit that 3, I'll be thinking I'm going to put it to break even now. If it does manage to push up, it'll go. But if not, it's just not worth it. I think a couple of people got in early and got out for 4 or 6 ticks. I can't really find a structure. This might, yeah, it's hard to read today. It's a bit all over the place. I think, in all fairness, it's more likely just going to turn out to be a range day by the end of the day. There's not a lot of volume. I mean, if we come down here and then eventually work up towards the end of the day, it's more of a range-ish type day. Down, up, down, maybe, but yeah, it's harder. Not easy. And I've been going for 3 hours. Kind of hoping we get a higher low, but someone else drawn a channel like that. But that to me is kind of a bull flag. Push up, leg and a leg. That's a bull flag to me. Just crossed the 2600 profit. Good on you, Kev. Nice to hear that, mate. And still have to wait until the 1st. So hopefully we'll put me a good cushion. Yeah, I mean, it's lovely to take money out when you hit these levels, but, you know, in an ideal world, the trouble is with trading a PA account is you've got to build something from nothing. You've got 0. Now, you know, I suppose a professional trader that might decide to fund his pot will have a lump sum to make money. We've got to make money from 0. So the strange thing is really why I think part of the reason why people do risk and gamble is you kind of got nothing to lose. Where if someone said, here's $50,000, you probably treat it with kid gloves. But when you've got nothing to protect, and I think that sometimes can aid to the risk taking. You know, if you think, I've only got $400 or $500 in the account, it's not a huge amount. Whereas if you can build a cushion, I think then you kind of go into protection mode. But yeah, it's nice to. Yeah. I think the first few payments, I think it's good to take them out. Because chances are, you know, you may not hold the account if it's your first 1 or 2 or something. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's good to have a cushion. If you say have a cushion of, say, $5,000 and then say, whatever I earn now over the next month, above that $5,000, I'll withdraw, obviously up to $2,000. That way, if you make $2,000 over a month, you can withdraw it. You still got your $5,000 in there. And I think ultimately that's the goal. That's certainly my goal, to get a certain level in there that I like the way that Trades by Matt's got at the moment, or had it. I think he had about $10,000 in each account, and then whatever he made, and I think that's a nice cushion to help you relax and just, play the game. Take trades how they're meant to be taken. But once you've got a cushion, it's always nice to have savings, isn't it? Because if anything ever goes wrong, but if you've got no savings and you're living day to day, life's a little bit more stressful. So, leg and a leg, a tick more above that, and that trade there will have worked. It is a correction. I did put that up, but I took it away. So if you went a tick above there, I'd be marking 3 points, which is there, which is not quite there yet, but it is a correction. If that had been a nice bullish bar, I may have had a go at that. Down, 2 legs up, and a leg down. Anyway, it's a tick above there if it goes. But same again, look. Bounce, 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 bounce. That's 4, 5, 6 times there. Yeah, it's a shame that wasn't a bit more bullish. I'd have had a go at that. Kind of like a high or low there, trapping some shorts. If you push above there, there's going to be a load of shorts sat above here. Oh. Yeah, not the easiest of days to trade today. It's very hard to find something that resembles a good solid. That doesn't look terrible, actually. It's hard on here. It's a bit all over the place. That channel didn't seem fantastic either. We seemed to have something tight, something a little bit, and then we had that, which I got rid of again, didn't I? We had somewhere along the lines of that. Oh, don't do this. Something like that with what could possibly have been a bit overshoot. I don't know. So if that breaks a tick above there, that 3 points from there would have worked. It's a nice correction, but the bar's rubbish. Excuse me. Now I'm guessing there's going to be a considerable amount of stops above here, because something's protecting this. There'll be some there, I don't doubt. There's a lower high there. Overshoot, leg down, second entry short, stroke lower high. There'll be some traders above there, some shorts above there, expecting that to come down. So if it can get above there, I expect it to do it with some speed once it gets a tick or two above it. and a couple more. Not as punchy as I thought it might be. So, that correction, 3 points would have worked from there. The bar was a bit naff, but it was a nice looking correction. Often they really work well. I see Matt marking them, but that one was just naff. But a tick above this top line worked. I'm guessing stops are going to be more above this or above here, I think. I'm surprised considering how much support there was there. But didn't a little more of a pop. Guessing the stops are probably going to be above here. Okay, I think I'm done for the day, folks. I've only got about 15 minutes of trading left before Guardian Angel cuts me off. Not the easiest of days today. I did take a trade on this chart here, which did work. We kind of had two legs down. We had two attempts to push up, and there was a lower high there, which worked beautifully. Now, I got out for $100. And I need to learn, really. I just have to accept this and let it run. I did have a bit of an interruption at the time and a bit of dog barking, which kind of got me out of my concentration a little bit. But I got $100 over 3 accounts. I've also done really well on my funded futures today. I've just taken what trades just look right, actually. Kind of a nice gut feeling. And I'm up to over $1,000 on there. That's worked out quite well, that has, today. Just trading that on what kind of looks right. So there you go anyway. So that's me done for today. That channel there looks a little bit better than it does on here. It's just a bit, I mean, I've tried different channels. I'm still not a massive fan. Thomas Wade's still got something that looks like that, but I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. We push up, we go that way, and it's a bit all over the place. And I think one thing I've grasped from Mac over the last few years, if it doesn't look right, just get rid of it. And I think we push up sharp, then we go in this direction, then we kind of go there, and then we push up. So I think you just got to trade these sort of individually on the way up. And we've had 2 pushes, but it's just hard to read some of this. there was that sort of 2 legs back in a bullish bar there, but I got into it, and then all this support's just started to unnerve me. And then all of a sudden we built up this bit and down it came, stopping that out. So I was glad I got out there. I think quite a few got out there. And I think when it does that, builds up strong support, I think that's really a good indicator that it's time maybe to cut it short. So this looks now we're above this. It's more than likely going to break the overnight highs. We have got the all-time highs up here. So it could punch through this lot and get up there. I don't know, but there you go. So that's me done for today, folks. Tuesday out the way, Wednesday tomorrow. I'll be back again tomorrow. If you are carrying on trading, good luck. I hope you get something. Not the easiest of days today, so if you haven't taken anything today, I won't worry about it. Not easy. So I will love you and leave you. Remember, any of you guys ever want to chat? You know, Sean has last couple of evenings just sent me a message, private message me if you want to chat about somebody, you got any questions or there's something on your mind, whatever it is, feel free to send us a message. So I'll leave you to it. Have a great evening, stay safe, and I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll do it all again. Bye for now.